Time for the other side.
All right. Do you ladies spray? Who's an African elephant? Do her nails.
This to Myakka Elephant Ranch, hopefully also an adventure with our elephants this morning. Really during this portion, it's a fun part of learning all with the elephants, have any questions, be able to touch them, take your photos with them, and then see them go outside. So that's all coming right up. Welcome, my name is Lou. I'm the Chief Executive Officer here at Myakka Elephant Ranch nonprofit. Our main goals are to raise money for elephant conservation, along with really educating the public on elephants. So thank you guys for being here, supporting us with that mission. The main thing we do with the public is kind of allow you guys to help with their daily care. So we just got done with the elephant spa, where everybody took turns bathing the elephants. So the reason we bathe the elephants every day, water is very important for their skin. It moisturizes it, keeps them from getting over dry. They have to get a full bath at least once a day. So that's actually one of our government requirements by the USDA is to give the elephants a bath every day. So you guys just kind of help out with that process. So this is their wash area. The Asian elephant can do a couple things for you guys. So we have Lou out here, we'll get started. All right, this is Lou. Lou is 38 years old. She's a female African elephant. When you look at Lou, the easiest way to tell the difference from the African and the Asian, if you look at these ears. So the African has a very large ear, shaped like the continent of Africa. Now the Asian elephant has half the size ear, shaped like the country of India. So you can always tell the difference right when you look at those ears. Also the African has a high backbone on the back, where the Asian has more of a straight, flat back. Their skin is totally different. So a lot more wrinkles on the African elephant. Now these wrinkles serve a purpose. They break up the sun rays, keeps them cooler. Also, the whole body is covered with a callus. The thick parts of the callus from the top of the forehead up here and all along the top of the back. That callus kind of peels off each year, where new callus grows right under. Main purpose for that is to protect them from the sun and the insects. So in the wild in Africa, they could have to walk up to 40 miles a day to get to enough food, to get to enough water. They're constantly exposed to a hot African sun. So that extra layer of skin really helps to protect them. Now the Asian elephant, they have a lot smoother skin. They come from a cooler climate than the African. A lot more tree coverage. They don't need as much of the protection. That skin very strong, very durable, but it is real sensitive. So they can actually feel a mosquito bite, a real sensitive touch. Anywhere you touch an elephant, excellent feeling throughout the whole body. Behind their ears is very important for the elephants. There's a lot of blood vessels behind their ears. So when they fan their ears, it acts like a radiator and cools down their whole blood system. Elephants do not sweat, so the only other way they stay cool is by throwing mud, dirt, hay, water, whatever they can throw on their backs to really cool themselves off. Because that ear is so important to them, you might notice the holes in the ear, a little rips throughout the ear, little notches missing. They get a cut, a scratch, that gets infected. They actually just dry that portion, drop it to the ground, eliminate it. They cannot afford for the infection to spread throughout the whole ear. So the ear becomes a fingerprint for an elephant. All hole, a big rib, little notches missing, totally different ears. Their hearing is excellent. Their ear canal is on the outside here. When they open their ears, they have giant sonars. So they can actually communicate miles apart from each other. They can do a high frequency pitch, that way you can't hear with our ears. It's like a silent whistle. They also rumble. The rumbles where they send vibrations through the earth, and they can feel the vibrations miles away through their feet. They can do a loud squealing noise, loud yell, sometimes sounds like a human yelling. Excellent communicators among themselves. Also the trumpets. The trumpets, when they blow all the air through their nose, creates a trumpet sound. You really only hear that noise when they're startled, they're trying to warn other elephants that there might be a threat. That's when you hear the trumpet. Alright, her eyes up front here, they kind of protrude a little bit. She can almost see all the way behind her. Excellent vision up close, anything on the ground, anything standing around her, good vision. But at a distance, it does start to get blurry for an elephant. Up close though, pretty clear. Her tusk up front. These are her teeth on the outside of the body. There's actually a nerve that runs down the center of these tusks. It stops about 2 to 3 inches from the tip here, and these tusks grow throughout their lifetime. It could break though, and that nerve could get exposed, it could get infected. If it does get infected, you have to come almost all the way up here to the eye to remove the whole tusk. Usually though, luckily it doesn't get infected, straight on some elephants. The teeth can grow differently on the outside of the body. The female African, like Lou, does have a tusk ivory. The female Asian has very small ivory. You can only see it if you pick up their lips, little pieces under here. That's normal for the female Asian. Now the males, the bulls, they have the dominant tusk. 2-3 times as thick, some up to 14 feet long on some of the males. Huge fingers at the bottom of the trunk, and she can pick up a dime with the 2 fingers. Asian elephant, a little different, just 1 finger and a palm, so they kind of curl their food in more. That trunk is made of all muscles. Over 100,000 muscles in the trunk. A muscle breaks into another muscle, and muscle fibers go all the way down, so it makes it real flexible. It can expand, retract like an accordion, but also very strong. With this trunk alone, they can pick up 300 to 700 pounds of weight. If they use their ivory, their tusk, up to 1,000 pounds of weight. So really, really strong. They also use that trunk to drink their water. They'll pick up a gallon to 2 gallons of water into their mouth or into their nose, bring it up to their mouth, and spray it into their mouth. On a normal day, they drink about 50 gallons of water. On a hot day, up to 100 gallons of water. All right, so Lucy can give you a slight example of how she uses her fingers to pick up an object. We have a couple trees for her, and we'll see how the fingers work. After an apple. Stay right there, she'll come to you. She's ready. Excellent with those 2 fingers. You can actually pick up a single blade of grass. Some days with the apples, she'll pick it up just by the stem. They're real intelligent when it comes to memory. Excellent memory. And I'll talk a little bit now about elephant conservation. So a couple years ago now, I was able to go to the International Conservation and Research Symposium in South Africa. So it was a week-long event. I get to meet with researchers, elephant conservationists from all over the world. I really got to learn a lot. Unfortunately, the elephant population is in a big decline. So in 1930, there were over 10 million elephants roaming Africa. Today is about 350 to 400,000 of the African elephants left. The Asian elephant is far more endangered. There's only about 40,000 of the Asian elephants left. So the main reason for this is all the poaching that's going on with their ivory. They're saying almost 100 a day are going down from the poaching alone in Africa. Also, the human-elephant conflict is a big issue. The Elephant Foundation is creating a great partnership with them. Right now, we're working on building anti-poaching ranger stations in Uganda and a couple of projects with the Sumatran Asian elephant. So real excited about that partnership. Hopefully it makes a bit of a difference. By you guys being here, you are helping to support elephant conservation, along with really supporting our 3 elephants year round. So anything you guys get in the gift shop, any donations, does go directly to helping elephants. All right, so here's Carol. So when you look at Carol, you can start to see those big differences. So a lot smaller ears, a total different backbone, total different skin. Carol actually has 2 big humps on the top of her head, where Lou has more of a round head. So the Asian elephant is actually more related.
The same way, but as far as family oriented, protective of each other, very caring. So in that sense, yeah, they do. But now they get along because of the matriarch. A matriarch, an older female, very strong, very intelligent. A 1.5 years old, she was transported by ship into Miami, and we picked her up there in '86. So we've had her since she was a 1.5 years old. Back in the late 70s, 80s, governments in Africa measured rainfall, how much vegetation, maintain all these different herds of elephants, and then they would take families of elephants completely down, left the babies as orphans back then, and that's what they would sell to Europe, South America, and the United States. So that's when the majority of the Africans came into this country. Nowadays, almost impossible. The Asian elephant, first put on endangered species, then they put the African on endangered species. Illegal to sell or trade ivory. So more protected nowadays. Carol, daddy coming out shortly, originated from Thailand. They came over when they were 1 year old. They were born in a farm, elephant breeding farm. So they were actually born in captivity. They've been with the same family up to 2.5 years ago. We acquired them to make them part of Lou's family. So originating all 3 from the homeland. Nail on the Asian elephant, 5%. A lot tougher than an Asian elephant, also 49 years old. Her and Carol have been together all their life. They all both originated.
All
Say hi to Carol.